again, my dear students, let's complete our unit 2, Sports Adventures. Grammar of conditionals. Today we will take the first and the second conditional of if. Again, we will take the first and the second conditional of if. Miss Dina, when can I use the first and the second conditional of if? Let's see. Look at this picture, okay? What will you be if you eat too much food? What will you be if you eat too much food or junk food? From this picture, you will say, okay, please answer and I can hear you, okay? If I eat too much food, I will be fat. Another one said, if I eat too much food, I will be unhealthy, okay? Okay, from this picture, what will we do if we see a poor man? What will we do if we see a poor man in the street or any place? Okay, one of you, a group of you, okay, say, Miss Dina, if we see a poor man, we will give him some money. Okay. Another group said, if we see a poor man, we will help him. Okay. What will you get if you study hard? What will you get if you study hard? One of you said, if I study hard, I will get high marks. Okay. Another one said, if I study hard, I will get a medal. Okay. So the first conditional of if, we use it to talk about things that might happen in the future. Again, we use the first conditional of if we talk about things that might happen in the future. I mean, talks about future possibilities. Talks about future possibilities. Okay, for example, if he, as we see here in this picture, if he eats a lot of food, he will be fat. Another example, if you don't eat fresh food, you won't be healthy. If you don't eat fresh food, you won't be healthy. So here I talk about things that might happen in the future. I mean, talk about future possibilities, okay? So, Miss Dina, how can we form the first conditional of if? Let's see. If followed by two sentences. If followed by two sentences. The first sentence in present simple, as we took it before. Present simple. The second sentence in future simple. Again, if followed by two sentences. The first sentence in present simple, as we see here. The second sentence in future simple. Okay, in future simple. For example, if she eats a lot of sugar, she will be fat. If she eats a lot of sugar, she will be fat. Here I talk about something might happen in the future, okay? Might happen in the future. So, if followed by two sentences, as we see here, the first one in present simple, she eats. The second one in future simple will be. The second example, if you don't eat fresh food, you won't be healthy. If you don't eat fresh food, you won't be healthy. Again, here, if followed by two sentences, the first one in present simple, don't eat. The second one followed is in future simple, won't be Okay, the third example, if he gets up early, he will catch the train, sorry. If he gets up early, he will catch the train. Here, if followed by two sentences, the first one in present simple, he gets up. The second one in future simple, will catch. Okay, so we use the first conditional of if to talk about things that might happen in the future. Okay, Miss Dina, if I want to put if in the middle, how can I do it? Okay, we will, as we see here, we will put if followed by the present, the sentence in present simple, and the second sentence, it will be in future, but we will start with it. I mean, here, as we see, future simple, then if plus present simple. For example, here, as we see, if is in the middle. The sentence before it is you will pass the exam in the future simple, okay? But the sentence after it is you study well in present simple. Another example. She will win the medal if she exercises a lot. Here, if in the middle, the sentence before it is she will win the medal in present simple, and no in future simple, but the second sentence after if, it's in present simple, okay? The last one, they will win the match if they play well. If in the middle, followed by they play well, the sentence in present simple, but the sentence before it, it is in future simple. Let's see the abbreviations of will. Will, okay, the abbreviation of it is I mean, instead of I say I will pass the exam, we can say I'll pass the exam. Also, will not, the abbreviation is won't. I mean, instead of I said I will not pass, I can say I won't pass. And question, how can I ask a question in the first conditional of if? We will start with will, okay? As we see here, we will start with will, then we will put it in the middle, followed by the present simple. Let's see. Will you pass the exam if you study hard? Here we started our question with will, and if is in the middle. If in the middle of the question, followed by the present simple. Will you pass the exam if you study hard? Okay, the answer, yes I will, or no I won't. Let's see the second conditional of if. The second conditional of if. Also again, I'll ask you and you should answer. What would you do if Superman came here? Again, what would you do if Superman came here? Okay, I can hear you. And one of you said, if Superman came here, I would take a selfie. Okay. This picture. What would you do if you saw a lion? What would you do if you saw a lion? Okay. If I saw a lion, Miss Dina, I would run. Okay, me too. So, the second conditional of if, we use it to talk about something that we think might not happen. I mean, it refers to something unreal, something imaginary. Okay? Imaginary. imaginary. Okay. For example, if Superman came here, I would take a selfie. Okay. For example, if I lived in the mountains, I would go skiing every day. Here I imagine that thing might not happen. Okay. This thing unreal. So if I lived in the mountains, I would go skiing every day. So how can I form a sentence using the second conditional of if? Okay, if also followed by two sentences, but the first sentence will be in past simple, and the second sentence we will use would plus infinitive. Okay, but the first conditional of if, it forms of two sentences. The first sentence present simple and the second sentence future simple. But the second conditional of if, it will be past simple plus would plus infinitive. Okay. For example, if he had enough money, he would buy a car. Here, this boy or this man, he imagines that if he had enough money, he would buy a car. This thing is unreal. Okay. This thing might not happen in the future. So we use the second conditional of if. If he had enough money, he would buy a car. Here, if followed by two sentences. The first sentence in past simple, he had. But the second sentence we used he would buy, would plus infinitive. Okay, Miss Dina, how, if I want to put if in the middle, how can I do it? Let's see. Here, as we see, we will put if in the middle, followed by the sentence in past simple, and the sentence before it, it will be would plus infinitive. As we see here, she would sleep better if she exercised before bedtime. If in the middle, followed by past simple, she exercised before bedtime, and the sentence before it in would sleep. Okay, would plus infinitive. Okay. The second example, they would go to the trip if they had the permission from parents. Okay, here again, if in the middle, followed by the past simple. Sorry, they had the permission, and the sentence before it, before if, would plus infinitive, they would go. Let's see the abbreviations. Would, it will be it. For example, instead of I said I would sleep better, I can say I'd. Would not, it will be wouldn't. Would not, it will be wouldn't. Okay. Any question? As we did in the first conditional of if, here we will start the question with would, and if, it will be in the middle, followed by past simple. Let's see. Would you play rugby if you lived in England? Would you play rugby if you lived in England? Okay, here as we see in this question, yes or no question, if in the middle, followed by the past symbol and the sentence before it, would plus infinitive. The answer will be yes, I would. No, I wouldn't. And now let's see this important note. We use the second conditional of if to advise someone. Let's see. If I were you here, if I were you, I mean here we use the past simple. The second sentence would plus infinitive. If I were you, I would go to the dentist. If I were you, I would go to the dentist. Here I advise someone to do something. Okay, if I were you, I would go to the dentist. Here we use the second conditional of if. And now, who wants to answer these questions? Okay, rewrite the following sentences. Number 1, if I have a lot of money, I help the poor. Here, correct, help. Okay, here, yes, super excellent. Here we will use the first conditional of if. If I have, here have present simple, so the second sentence it will be in future simple. So help, we will answer will help. Okay, because here we use the first conditional of if, which consists of two sentences. The first one in present simple and the second one in future simple. The second one, if he come on time, he would see him. Correct. Yes, he. The second sentence is in would plus infinitive, so it's the second conditional of if. So the first sentence, it should be in past simple. If he came on time, we would see him. The third one, if I be you, I do my homework first. It's an advice. Okay, so we will use the second conditional of if. If I were you, I do my homework first. If I were you, I do my homework first. Number 4, what will he do if he see a lion? What will he do if he see a lion? This is a question. Okay, here as we see, we use the first conditional of if because we have will, a future simple, will he do? So the second sentence after if, it should be in present simple. So if he sees. Okay, thank you so much, my dear students. See you later.